So Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh gosh, Greg Mansfield. About myself. By day, I'm an adult educator. I'm an education department manager for a nonprofit association, business related. And on the side, in the evenings, I also work for a martial arts online studio, Global Martial Arts University. I review videos for them. I do Bojutsu. I've been doing martial arts for many years and really got back into it past couple of years. And the Sensei Online is based in Dallas, Texas. And he realized that I was an adult educator because some of the comments I was making on his blog. And he said, Greg, I'd love for you to check out our videos and make sure they're of good quality. So I do that on the side, which is really fun. Also, sort of 4 months out of the year, I heavily focus on my passion for the supernatural. And I say 4 months of the year because, you know, as Halloween approaches, everybody gets excited about ghosts and the supernatural. And I'm about to release the new version of the book. It'll be edition 6, which will have 3 new locations, up to 39. So, yeah, that keeps me busy.
So speaking of the supernatural, that's a good segue there. What got you interested in the supernatural and the ghostly adventures in the first place?
When I was about 8 years old, went into the school library with my class, and you know, at that age, a lot of kids around Halloween are looking at books of, in those days, Charlie Brown and The Great Pumpkin and all that stuff, but my cousin wasn't really interested in it. And then I discovered through the school librarian that there were books in the school library written by, you know, such classic authors as Peter Underwood about real ghosts. And even at that young age, I was fascinated. I thought, really? Does this mean there's real ghosts? And what are they? And does that mean that maybe there's life after death? And this, from a young age, fascinated me, and I've been hooked ever since.
One of the places you feature in your book is the Stanley Theatre here in Vancouver on Granville Street. We've had the opportunity to investigate there a few times and recently did a fundraiser for them. They firmly believe there are at least 3 ghosts there. Do you have any more to add to that?
Yeah, I got introduced to the Stanley Theatre. I was there as a young man seeing some of my favorite films in the day, you know, Apocalypse Now and all that on that era, and had no idea that it was haunted in those days. And then in recent years, a friend of a friend introduced me, actually a friend of my mom and dad introduced me to one of the actors who works there fairly frequently. She introduced me to a couple of people there that I spoke to on the phone and interviewed, and was told about the 3 ghosts, the two male ghosts and the 1 female, and how they like to play pranks around the theater. So that became a chapter in the book. And recently, yes, that's where I met up with you guys, and we had a nice night there. Great atmosphere in this town. What can I say? Theaters, I love haunted theaters. They're fantastic.
Why do you think that there's a lot of paranormal activity around theaters? There seems to be, in every city, in every nation, there's a ghost story in the local theater.
Yeah, I was born in the UK, and so, you know, a lot of stories about haunted theaters in places like London, Drury Lane, and so on. And I don't pretend to know all the answers, you know. From some of the people I've talked to, including the fellow I interviewed at the Stanley, he thought he had some psychic abilities, and it was his theory, and you know, I can only go with it, that there's so much human emotion and drama in theaters, whether they're doing a musical or a drama piece or a comedy. There's an audience, there's actors on the stage that are portraying emotions very deeply, and there's something about that emotional energy that psychics believe that ghosts feed off of to manifest themselves. That could be a load of crap, I don't know, but that seems to be what I would say is a pretty good theory.
Compared to other cities around the world, how do you think Vancouver ranks?
When I first started this, I thought it ranked pretty poor, but now I think it ranks pretty high. I wouldn't say it's higher necessarily than anywhere else. We're a fairly young city, so it's not like we have history like in London or even New York and parts of the East Coast, like Halifax. So I would say it's on average.
So we actually have a copy of your Ghosts of Vancouver, and we found it really, really a great resource guide. So I don't know, maybe you want to hold it up there and just show our viewers in case they're browsing about. Because it's a great book.
Thank you.
And everybody should pick it up. I know that it's available on Amazon and probably a bunch of other places where what am I trying to say? Where you buy your books, right? It's people have different places to do it, but it is available both in hard copy and paperback as you have there, and also for those who are digital, you can get a digital version as well, I believe, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just coming out with the 6th edition, and people say to me, Greg, why don't you do another book? Well, the thing is, because I'm busy with my full-time work during the day, to get enough, thickness or material for a whole sequel book would take me a very long time because I'm not flying at this full-time. So what I tend to do is, when I get new stories and I work on them throughout the year, then I add in the next edition. I'm not trying to cheat anybody out of their earlier editions. It's just that as I learn new stuff, add more stuff, I want the book eventually to become pretty thick and an even better resource.
You did a lot of research in that book, I noticed that, and also you took a lot of the photographs of photography yourself, so kudos on that too.
Yeah, and I have a lot of people to thank for the book, nothing is a solo project. Robert Bellick, who's an author that does a lot of ghost books about British Columbia and Alberta and so on. So he inspired me in the early days to do the book. Great resources there too. But also the people that I meet, like yourselves, share their stories and their findings, and with their permission I add to the book too. And I love, obviously, visiting the places and meeting people who've firsthand had the stories.
Thank you very much for joining us today. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we let you go on your day?
No, thank you. Just remember, ghosts were people too. Don't be scared. And if you enjoy the book, enjoy the website, and you have any stories of your own, please share them on the blog or email me directly. And Halloween's coming up, so happy Halloween.